In the heart of Lagos, Nigeria's pulsating megacity, where the air hummed with the constant rhythm of okadas zipping through traffic and the sizzle of suya grilling on open coals, lived a young woman named Ilara Adewale. At 25, Ilara was a beacon of quiet resilience amid the urban storm. Her warm brown skin glowed under the relentless tropical sun, her kind almond-shaped eyes held a spark of unyielding hope, and her full lips often curved into a gentle smile that masked deeper pains. Standing at 5 feet 6 inches with curves softened by simple living, she moved through life with the grace of someone who had learned to carry invisible weights. But Ilara's world was far from glamorous. Orphaned at 15 in a devastating car accident on the Third Mainland Bridge, her parents' sedan hydroplaning into the lagoon during a storm, she had been thrust into survival mode. The crash's details haunted her: screeching tires, shattering glass, the cold water rising. Rescued but alone, she was taken in by her late mother's older sister, Madame Veronica Vero Okonjo, a widowed schoolteacher in her mid-50s who lived in a cramped two-bedroom flat in the bustling Ikeja suburb. Madame Vero was a force of nature, sharp-tongued, with a face etched by years of widowhood and financial strain, her salt and pepper hair pulled into a severe bun, and her eyes always calculating like a market trader eyeing a bargain. Vero had never remarried after her husband's death from malaria a decade earlier, channeling her frustrations into a rigid household. To her, Ilara wasn't family, she was a reminder of lost youth and an extra mouth to feed. The flat was modest, peeling yellow walls, a single fan whirring lazily overhead, and a kitchen where the smell of egusi soup simmered eternally. Vero ruled it with an iron fist, her voice booming like thunder. "Ilara, if you don't pull your weight, you'll end up like those street girls begging at Oshodi Market," she'd bark, her wrapper tied tightly as she stirred pots. Ilara, ever dutiful, nodded and worked harder, her responses soft. "Yes, Auntie. I'll do better." Ilara's days blurred into a grind. Mornings began at 5 a.m., when the call to prayer echoed from nearby mosques, blending with the crow of roosters. She'd slip into her faded blue uniform, a simple blouse and skirt mended countless times, and head to the tailoring shop in Balogun Market, a labyrinth of stalls overflowing with Ankara prints and lace, the air thick with the chatter of haggling women and the sharp scent of dye vats. There, under Madame Fatima's watchful eye, a stout woman with a tape measure around her neck, Ilara spent hours hunched over a Singer sewing machine, its pedal thumping rhythmically. Her fingers, calloused but nimble, transformed bolts of fabric into vibrant blouses, skirts and gowns for clients who barely glanced her way. "Faster, Ilara. This bride needs her asoebi by noon," Fatima would snap, the shop's heat making sweat bead on everyone's brows. Lunch was a hurried wrap of akara from a street vendor, the oily bean cakes hot and spicy, eaten standing amid bolts of cloth. Evenings brought no respite. By 6 p.m., as the sun dipped low and painted the sky in oranges and pinks, Ilara boarded a Danfo bus, crowded, bumpy, filled with the aroma of body odor and fried plantain, to her second job, cleaning offices in Victoria Island's gleaming towers. The contrast stung. While executives sipped air-conditioned lattes, she mopped marble floors that reflected her weary face, the chemical tang of bleach burning her nose. Her back ached from bending, her feet blistered in worn slippers, but she pushed on, dreaming of her own shop. One day, she'd whisper to herself during breaks, sketching dress designs on scrap paper by flashlight in the flat. Dresses that make women feel powerful. But dreams felt distant when rent loomed. Vero's demands were endless. "That money you earn? Half for the house or pack your bags." Ilara handed over her pay stub weekly, left with just enough for Gary and soup. Loneliness was her constant companion. Friends from school had scattered, married or moved abroad. At night, lying on her thin mattress in the shared room, the fans hum lulling her, she'd pray, "God, send me someone who sees me, not my struggles." It was a typical Tuesday in July, the rainy season in full fury. Dark clouds hung low over Lagos like a brooding giant, and by midday the skies unleashed a torrent, rain lashing windows, flooding gutters, turning roads into rivers. Ilara finished at the tailoring shop early, her latest gown delivered to a demanding client, and dashed out with her umbrella, a flimsy black thing that barely shielded her. The market was a frenzy, vendors shouting rain gear. Ponchos, as water pooled ankle-deep, soaking her sandals. She hurried toward the bus stop at Idamoda, clutching her bag of fabrics and lunch remnants, a half-eaten moi-moi wrapped in foil. The wind howled, flipping her umbrella inside out with a snap, and in her scramble to fix it, she slipped on a slick puddle near a busy intersection. Time slowed, her feet slid out, bag flying, body twisting midair. She hit the ground hard, knee scraping concrete, fabric scattering like confetti in the downpour. Pain shot through her leg, rain mixing with tears of frustration. Cars honked impatiently, tires splashing, pedestrians rushing past with newspapers over heads. No one stopped. "Why me?" she muttered, scrambling to gather her things, water soaking her blouse translucent. Then, amid the chaos, a sleek black Mercedes sedan pulled up slowly to the curb, its tinted windows reflecting the storm, wipers swishing steadily like a metronome. The engine purred softly, a stark contrast to the battered Okadas nearby. The back door opened with a click, and out rolled a wheelchair, maneuvered by a young man in his late 20s. He wore a crisp gray suit tailored to perfection, a white shirt crisp despite the rain, and polished leather shoes on feet hidden under a wool blanket. His dark hair was neatly combed, framing a face with sharp jawline, high cheekbones, and piercing hazel eyes that scanned the scene with quiet authority. Despite the chair, he exuded confidence, no slouch, no self-pity. Rain beaded on his umbrella as he wheeled closer, extending a strong hand. "Are you all right?" That was quite a fall. Ilara looked up, blinking rain from her lashes, embarrassed. His voice was deep, smooth like aged palm wine, with a hint of an educated accent, perhaps from abroad. "Yes, just clumsy in this weather." "Thank you," she replied, taking his hand. His grip was firm, warm, pulling her up effortlessly. He knelt slightly from the chair to help gather her wet fabrics, his movements precise. "Clumsy or cursed by this rain, either way you need better luck today. Let me drop you home, it's not safe to walk in this." Ilara hesitated, wiping mud from her skirt. Strangers in luxury cars weren't her reality, they were for the elite in Lekki. But his eyes held no judgment, only kindness, and the rain showed no mercy. Okay. Thank you." She climbed into the back seat beside him, the door shutting out the storm with a solid thunk. The interior was a world apart, leather seats soft as butter, air scented with sandalwood cologne and fresh polish, AC humming coolly. As the car glided through traffic, wipers thumping, he smiled. "I'm Kale. And you?" "Ilara," she said shyly, wringing water from her hair. They talked easily, the rain's fury, her sewing job. "I make dresses that tell stories." His vague family business keeps me on wheels, literally. His laugh was low, genuine, easing her nerves. By the time they reached her aunt's rundown block in Ikeja, concrete stairs slick, laundry flapping on balconies, Ilara felt a spark. "Thank you, Kale. You're a lifesaver in this flood." He handed her a simple business card, embossed gold, just Kalen Voss, and a number. "Call if you need anything. Luck changes, sometimes with help." Ilara watched the Mercedes pull away, taillights fading in the mist, her heart fluttering like a trapped bird. Word of Ilara's rich suitor spread like wildfire through the neighborhood grapevine, faster than the rain drying on the streets. By evening, as the sun broke through clouds and golden shafts, Madame Vero had heard from a nosy neighbor over shared washing lines. Ilara got picked up by a big man in a Mercedes. Wheelchair or not, that's money. Vero burst into the flat like a storm, her wrapper swishing, eyes gleaming with opportunistic fire. The kitchen smelled of boiling yam and palm oil, steam rising from the pot. "Ilara, what is this I hear? A rich man saved you from the rain? Show me the card, now." Ilara, still damp and sorting fabrics on the table, handed it over hesitantly. "Andy, it was just a kind gesture." "He's nice, but..." Vero snatched it, tracing the embossed name with a finger. "Nice? Girl, this is opportunity knocking. Mercedes, wheelchair, doesn't matter. Rich men need wives too. Call him. Invite him for dinner tomorrow. If he's from money, he could lift us out of this hole." Ilara's stomach twisted. Vero's tone was transactional, like bartering at the market. "Andy, I don't want to use him. He was just helping." Vero's laugh was sharp, echoing off the walls. "Use him? Love is used, child. You're 25, no husband, no savings. Without a man you'll be sweeping streets forever. Call or find another roof." Ilara's eyes welled, Vero's words cut deep, echoing years of belittlement. That night, as crickets chirped outside and the fan whirred, Ilara dialed the number, heart pounding. Kale answered on the second ring, his voice warm like sunlight. "Ilara? I'm glad you called. Everything dry now." She explained the dinner invite awkwardly. "My aunt insists, but only if you're free." He chuckled softly. "I'd love to. Tomorrow at 7? Relief washed over her. Kale arrived promptly the next evening, the Mercedes purring to a stop outside the block, its headlights cutting the dusk like beacons. The neighborhood buzzed, Children peeking from windows, aunties whispering behind curtains. Vero had transformed the flat. Fresh curtains sewn by Alara, the table laden with jollof rice steaming in a clay pot, fried plantain golden and crisp, egusi soup thick with stockfish, and a bottle of star beer chilling. The air smelled rich, inviting, but Vero's smile was as tight as her bun. Kale wheeled in smoothly, assisted by his driver, a tall, silent man named Marcus with a scar on his cheek, navigating the narrow door with ease. He wore a navy blue kaftan, simple yet elegant, the blanket draped neatly. "Good evening," he said, his hazel eyes scanning the room warmly. Vero greeted him effusively, her voice honeyed. "Welcome, Kale. Sit. Ilara served the guest." Ilara, in her best Ankara dress, blue and yellow pattern she had sewn, poured water, her hands steady but cheeks flushed. Dinner unfolded with Vero's probing. "So, Kale, what do you do? Family business, you said? Investments?" Kale smiled enigmatically, spooning jollof. "Something like that, real estate, tech ventures. Keeps me traveling, but the chair slows things down." Vero leaned in, eyes sharp. "Wheelchair life must be tough. Accident?" Kale nodded briefly. "Car crash 5 years ago. Legs gone but spirit intact." Ilara interjected softly, "It doesn't define you, Kale. You're inspiring." He met her gaze, a spark passing. "Coming from you, that means everything." Conversation flowed, Ilara sharing market tales, Kale listening intently, asking about her designs. "Show me a sketch." Vero watched like a hawk, interjecting, "Ilara's talented but poor. A good man could change that." Kale chuckled politely, but his eyes stayed on Ilara. After dinner, as he prepared to leave, he slipped her a small package, a leather-bound sketchbook. "For your dreams." Vero closed the door, whirling on Ilara. "He's perfect, rich, polite. Marry him quick. Think of the house, the cars." Ilara clutched the book, heart-torn. "Auntie, it's not about money." But as she traced the pages that night, Kale's kindness lingered. Their dates began innocently, painting Ilara's gray world in colors. First, a picnic in Freedom Park, green lawns dotted with baobab trees, the air fresh with grilled corn from vendors. Kale's chair rolled over paths easily, a basket unpacked with chin-chin and fresh mango slices, juice dripping sweet. "Tell me about your parents," he said, eyes soft. Ilara shared the accident's pain, tears glistening. "They dreamed big, for me." Kale listened, hand on hers. "Dreams don't die. Yours are just waiting." Laughter followed, him joking about wheelchair superpowers. "I never lose parking spots." Next, a movie at Silverbird Cinema. A romantic comedy, popcorn buttery and warm, his arm around her during laughs. "You're my favorite plot twist," he whispered. Evenings by the Lagos Lagoon, waves lapping, stars above, Kale sharing business snippets, deals in Abuja, properties in Six, always steering from family. Ilara opened up, her boutique vision, sketches unfolding. He gifted threads, a mannequin, "Build it with me." Intimacy grew, stolen kisses in the car, his touch electric despite the chair. But doubts whispered. Lila, Ilara's co-worker at the shop, a bubbly 23-year-old with braids and a quick laugh, warned over lunch. "He's sweet, but wheelchair? Kids. And that driver, looks like security." Ilara defended, "Love sees beyond." Yet at home Vero pushed, "He's hiding wealth. Probe deeper, wedding soon." One night, post-dinner at a quiet buka, the aroma of pounded yam and stew enveloping them, Ilara asked, "Kale, your family, why no meetings?" He paused, fork midway. "Abroad mostly. Complicated." His eyes darkened briefly. Ilara let it go, but curiosity festered. Months flew, 6 in total, a whirlwind of stolen moments. Kale proposed on a rooftop at Ikeja City Mall, city lights twinkling like fireflies below, a string quartet playing softly. He wheeled forward, ring box velvet in hand, a gold band with an emerald solitaire catching the glow. Rain misted lightly, romantic. "Ilara, in this crazy city you grounded me. You've shown me love isn't pity, it's partnership. Marry me?" Tears streamed, she nodded, "Yes, Kale, with my whole heart." Hugs, kisses, the ring cool on her finger. Engagement buzzed. Vero planned obsessively, a list in hand. Church wedding, 200 guests, relatives from the village, your shop friends. No skimping. Invites flew, gold-embossed cards scented with jasmine. Ilara sewed her gown, ivory silk, lace bodice hugging her figure, train flowing like a dream, veil ethereal. But cracks showed. Kale's absences grew, business in Abuja, no calls from family. Lila confided, "My cousin dated a rich guy once, turned out fake." Elara brushed it off. Pre-wedding jitters hit, a bridal shower at Vero's, laughter over cake, sweet and spongy, but Vero cornered her. "Secure a prenup? Wait, no. Trap him with love." The eve arrived. Rehearsal at the church, organ testing hymns, flowers wilting slightly in heat. A stranger, tall, suited, face shadowed, approached Elara in the garden, roses blooming red. "Beware, miss. Kale's not disabled, he's playing you." "For what, I don't know." She laughed and he. Nervously, jealous talk. But sleep evaded her that night, veil on the bed like a ghost. The wedding day broke with golden sunlight filtering through Elara's window, birds chirping as if blessing the union. The air hummed with excitement, Vero bustling in the kitchen, frying akara for breakfast, oil popping. "Today you become a wife. No mistakes." Elara's gown hung ready, silk shimmering. Lila arrived early, helping with makeup. "You look like a queen, girl." "Kale's lucky." Nerves fluttered, Elara's hands shook, pinning the veil. The church, St. Mary's in Surelier, was modest but beautiful. White arches draped in lilies, their scent sweet and heady, pews filling with 150 guests in vibrant attire, osso oak wrappers rustling, men in agbatas. Music swelled, high-life band tuning guitars, drums thumping softly. Kale waited at the altar in a black tuxedo, wheelchair beside flower stands, his smile radiant under lights, Marcus standing guard-like nearby. Guests whispered, "Handsome despite the chair." Vero beamed from the front row, fanning herself. The procession began, bridesmaids in yellow lace, Lila winking at Elara. Organ music soared, "Here comes the bride," as Elara walked the aisle, veil trailing, heart pounding like drums. Kale's eyes locked on hers, full of love. Vows echoed in the vaulted hall. "I, Elara, take you, Kalen, in sickness and health." Rings exchanged, gold cool on fingers. The officiant, a kindly pastor in white robes, smiled, "You may kiss the bride." Kale leaned forward from the chair, but then a subtle shift. Marcus wheeled him slightly forward, and with a nod, Kale gripped the arms, rising slowly, steadily to full height. Gasps rippled like wind through the pews. Elara's veil slipped, her world tilted. Kale, no Kalen, stood tall, 6 feet 2 inches, legs strong in pressed trousers, walking toward her with purposeful strides. The hall erupted, chairs scraping, whispers exploding. "Miracle? Fake." Vero stood, mouth agape. "What sorcery is this?" Lila clutched Elara's arm. "Is it real?" Kalen reached her, taking her trembling hands, eyes earnest. "Elara, I'm not disabled. I never was." Shock froze her, betrayal hot in her throat. "You lied?" "Our whole love." Guests murmured, phones flashing. Media would feast. The pastor stammered, "Shall we continue?" But Elara pulled back, tears blurring. "Explain, now?" Kalen nodded, voice steady amid chaos. "It was a test. To find someone who loved the man, not the money or pity. I faked the accident 5 years ago, staged therapy, the chair, to see true hearts." Elara's mind reeled. Every date, every touch, built on deception? Why me? Was I just an experiment? He knelt before the altar, ring still on her finger. "No, you were real from the start. Your kindness, your dreams. I fell before the plan. Forgive me?" Vero stormed forward, voice shrill, "Imposter! You tricked us, give back the gifts." But Elara saw his vulnerability, the man she'd loved, chair or not. "Prove it's true love," she whispered. Cheers broke, guests clapping, band striking up joyfully. They kissed, deep, real as petals rained. 5 years earlier, Kalen Voss, Adebayo by birth, but Voss's mother's maiden name, was no ordinary entrepreneur. At 25 he was already a billionaire, heir to Voss Enterprises, a conglomerate spanning tech startups, AI for agriculture, revolutionizing Nigerian farms, real estate, luxury estates in Banana Island, and import-export, diamonds from South Africa, oil ties. His father, Reginald Voss, a cutthroat tycoon with a mansion in Ikoyi, had built the empire through ruthless deals, bribing officials, crushing rivals, but died in a mysterious yacht accident off Calabar, whispers of sabotage lingering. Kalen inherited it all, boardrooms and glass towers, private jets humming on runways, a net worth in billions. But wealth bred vultures. His first fiancée, Sophia, a stunning socialite with designer bags and fake laughs, had sued for emotional distress after he discovered her affairs, walking away with millions. They see the money, not me, Kaylin confided to Marcus, his loyal driver and ex-military bodyguard, over whiskey in the penthouse, city lights sprawling below. Marcus, scarred from peacekeeping missions, nodded, test them, boss. Fake vulnerability, see who stays. The accident was masterminded. A staged crash on the Lagos-Ibadan expressway, tires slashed remotely, car flipping into a ditch, actors as witnesses. Kaylin emerged paralyzed, therapy sessions filmed for authenticity. He volunteered at charities, hospitals, orphanages, to find purpose, his chair a prop. That's where algorithms, his tech team, flagged Alara. Kind, hardworking, no social media thirst. The chance meeting? Orchestrated, Marcus timing the rain, positioning the car. But as dates unfolded, Kaylin fell genuinely. Her sketches inspired him to fund startups for women artisans. Her laugh melted his cynicism. She's different, he told Marcus during a late-night drive, rain on the windshield. No pity, just Alara. Yet the test haunted, what if she left upon reveal? And rivals like Victor Kane, a sleazy competitor in real estate, eyes on vast deals, watched closely, plotting to expose the fraud for leverage. As confetti fell and guests toasted, champagne bubbling, laughter rising, Alara and Kaylin slipped to a side room, church bells tolling outside. Her gown rustled, veil discarded. Tell me everything, she demanded, voice trembling, the room's stained glass light casting colorful patterns on the floor. Kaylin sat, chair nearby as prop, explaining the empire, Voss Enterprises, billions but isolation. The chair was to filter gold diggers. Alara paced, skirt swishing. Our moments, picnics, kisses, lies? No, the feelings were real. I planned to reveal post-wedding, but love changed the script. Tears fell, she slapped his arm lightly. You hurt me. He pulled her close. I'll spend life making amends. Lila burst in, girl, the party's wild. But Victor Kane's here, that shady developer. Says he knows your secret. Kaylin's face hardened. Rival. He wants my land deals. The reception roared on, dancing to Afrobeat, suya skewers passed, but tension simmered. Vero cornered Kaylin. So you're loaded? When's the house? He smiled tightly, family first. But as cake cut, vanilla sponge, sweet icing, Victor approached, smirking, congrats, miracle man. Your fraud's out, media's calling. Phones buzzed, headlines, billionaire fakes disability for love? Alara's joy cracked. Honeymoon in Seychelles was paradise, or so it seemed. Private villa on white sands, turquoise waves lapping, air salty and warm. Palms swayed, hammocks swung. They walked beaches hand in hand, Kaylin strong, no chair. This is us, real, he murmured, kissing her under stars, fireflies dancing. Alara designed in a sunlit studio he built, fabrics flowing, her boutique sketches coming alive. But calls intruded, board meetings via video, Marcus reporting, Victor spreading rumors, says the accident was insurance fraud. Media frenzy hit Lagos. Tabloids screamed gold digger or victim? Alara's shop clients whispered, Lila defended, she's genuine. Back home Vero demanded, that villa? Buy me one in Lekki. Kaylin gave, a flat, but her greed escalated, more, for your auntie who raised her. Alara confronted, auntie enough. Vero sneered, without me no wedding. Conflicts peaked. Victor, a 40-something shark with slick hair and gold chains, owned rival firm Kane Properties, eyeing Voss's 6 developments. He leaked proof, staged photos of Kaylin walking pre-accident. Lawsuits flew, investors pulled. Kaylin worked nights in the home office, screens glowing, Alara massaging his shoulders, we'll beat this. But doubt crept, was I chosen, or targeted? Kaylin confessed a past, flashback to Sophia's betrayal, her laughing with lovers, draining accounts. I built walls. You broke them. Victor escalated, hacked emails, anonymous threats, leave her or lose everything. One night Alara received a call, your husband's a liar, run. Panic set in, argument erupted, you played God with my heart. Kaylin, I was scared, love made me vulnerable. Rain stormed outside, mirroring turmoil, they reconciled in tears, embrace fierce. Subplot deepened, Vero allied with Victor secretly, for cash, leaking Alara's secrets, orphan past. Lila discovered, Auntie's emails, selling you out. Confrontation at the flat, Vero defensive, survival. But Alara cut ties, you're no family. Victor's final play, kidnapping attempt during a market visit, goons grabbing Elara amid fabrics. Kaelin, tipped by Marcus, arrived in a convoy, tires screeching, rescue swift. Victor arrested for extortion, Vero implicated, facing charges. Through trials, courtrooms stuffy, lawyers arguing, Elara stood by Kaelin, we face storms together. Climax, pregnancy scare, Elara ill, tests positive. Joy amid chaos but complications, stress from scandals. Kaelin doted, hospital visits, her hand in his. Our child's our legacy. Son born, healthy, crying lustily, Adebayo Voss Jr., eyes like his father's. Years later, vow renewal at a beachside chapel. Waves whispering, sunset painting gold. Elara in white lace, her design. Kaelin standing tall in linen suit, son toddling between. Our surprise was growth, Elara vowed. Guests, Lila, Marcus, reformed Vero, apologetic. Cheered. Boutique thrived. Foundation helped orphans. Moral, love tests us, disabilities, lies, greed, but true hearts endure. See beyond facades, forgiveness builds empires.